Close your eyes and imagine a world shifting before your eyes, a world where China, once called a sleeping giant, has awakened. And the man holding its reins is not a soldier, not a revolutionary, but a strategist who understands power more deeply than most living leaders. His name is Xi Jinping, the most powerful man in modern China, and perhaps the most enigmatic figure of the 21st century. Born in 1953 in Beijing, Xi Jinping's childhood was far from the comfort usually linked to leaders. His father, Xi Jinping, was a revolutionary hero who helped found Communist China. But during the Cultural Revolution, he was branded a traitor. Young Xi was only 9 when the Red Guards stormed his house, his family torn apart, and he was sent to the countryside to live in a cave home in Shaanxi province. There, surrounded by dust, hunger, and hard labor, he learned the meaning of survival and silence, to traits that would later define his political journey. While other youths of his generation turned against the Communist Party after such suffering, Xi did the opposite. He joined it. He believed that power could only be changed from within. Rejected 9 times before finally being accepted into the CCP in 1974, Xi's perseverance became his weapon. He once said, "Knock me down 99 times, and I will rise the 100th." As China began its economic reforms under Deng Xiaoping, Xi quietly built his career first as a local party secretary in poor provinces, then as a provincial governor known for discipline and low corruption. Unlike many loud politicians, Xi spoke less, listened more, and never forgot the lessons of his youth: control, loyalty, and patience. In the early 2000s, when China's politics were still influenced by collective leadership, few could imagine that this calm, smiling man would one day become more powerful than any of his predecessors since Mao Zedong. But in 2012, everything changed. Xi Jinping became General Secretary of the Communist Party, Chairman of the Central Military Commission, and later the President of China, a triple crown of authority. Almost immediately, he began reshaping China. His anti-corruption campaign shocked the nation. Millions of officials were investigated. Hundreds of generals and ministers were dismissed. But behind this moral crusade lay a deeper purpose. Xi was cleaning not just corruption but opposition. He removed rivals, silenced critics, and filled every corner of the government with loyalists. He called his vision the Chinese dream, a dream of national rejuvenation. He promised to restore China's greatness, to erase the humiliation of foreign invasions, and to make the world respect China again. Under his leadership, China built the world's largest high-speed rail network, lifted 800 million people out of poverty, and became the second largest economy. Yet this dream also carried shadows. Freedom of speech shrank. The Great Firewall grew taller. Journalists disappeared, and millions of Uyghur Muslims in Xinjiang were placed in what the government called re-education centers. Surveillance cameras multiplied over 500 million nationwide. Through facial recognition and data tracking, every citizen's movement could be watched. To Xi, this was order. To critics, it was control. On the global stage, Xi moved with quiet aggression. In 2013, he announced the Belt and Road Initiative, a $1 trillion infrastructure project linking Asia, Africa, and Europe. China built ports, railways, and power plants across continents, expanding its economic influence far beyond its borders. Western analysts saw it as a strategy to dominate global trade and politics. To Xi, it was the Silk Road reborn, proof that China had returned to the center of the world. Relations with the U.S. grew tense. Under Xi's watch, China built artificial islands in the South China Sea, strengthened its military, and clashed diplomatically with Washington over trade, technology, and Taiwan. American sanctions on Huawei, TikTok investigations, and trade wars became symbols of a new Cold War, not of bombs, but of microchips and data. Yet despite Western criticism, inside China, Xi was seen as a protector, a man who would never let foreign powers humiliate China again. His face appeared on billboards. His quotes were taught in schools. In 2018, the constitution was changed to remove presidential term limits, effectively allowing Xi to rule for life. To his supporters, it meant stability. To his critics, it meant the return of one-man rule. Then came COVID-19. Xi's zero-COVID policy became one of the strictest in the world. Cities were locked down for months, citizens tested daily, and dissent silenced. While Western nations reopened, China stayed shut, its economy slowing. Yet even then, Xi held firm, declaring that sacrifice is necessary for safety. Analysts say Xi is not driven by wealth or fame but by legacy, the desire to be remembered alongside Mao as the man who secured China's future. He dreams not of democracy, but of stability, a Confucian order where the people obey and the leader protects. To him, Western democracy leads to chaos. His model is different, centralized, disciplined, enduring. But cracks are showing. Youth unemployment is rising. The property market is collapsing. The U.S. is building alliances in the Indo-Pacific to counter Beijing's influence. And yet, despite all this, Xi stands unshaken, calm, composed, almost unbreakable. Behind his expressionless face hides a strategist who thinks decades ahead. He knows that power is not only about armies or money, it's about narrative. He wants to rewrite history to make China the author of the 21st century story. From the caves of Shaanxi to the palaces of Beijing, Xi Jinping's journey is not one of luck but of endurance. He survived humiliation, betrayal, and exile to become the architect of modern China. Whether history will call him a visionary or a dictator remains uncertain. But one thing is clear. Xi Jinping has already changed the course of the world. And as the red flag rises over the Great Wall and Chinese ships patrol distant seas, one question remains: is Xi Jinping leading China to greatness, or to a storm that will shake the entire world?